Joe is the epitome of peer-to-peer fundraising. It's being not afraid to make those asks. It's being brave for others. And we use his story to show people that they can do the same. Make-A-Wish is a children's charity, and we are dedicated to granting the wishes of children with critical illnesses. A wish for a child with a critical illness is a chance to be a kid again. Rope for Hope is a unique thrill-seeking event where participants have to raise a minimum of $1,500 to rappel down an iconic building in their city. The outcome is for participants to have a thrill of a lifetime descending a building and ultimately to raise funds to make more wishes happen. Joe is one of our fearless and tenacious participants in Red Deer. He's very driven to make a difference to these kids.
Whether my belated wife had something to do with it or the good Lord wants to say, hey, this is what we want you to do. And it just come out of the clear blue sky and popped into my mind that that's what I want to do.
I think at the time, the rappel itself intrigued him. And as he got to know more about the event, he saw what a difference people like him can make by doing something simple, like rappel off a building.
When I mentioned this, what I'm doing, the first thing to come out of their mouth was, are you crazy?
I was really scared when he was telling me he was gonna rappel off the Suntech building. It terrified me, but of course it's for a good reason.
Well, height wasn't a problem.
He goes door to door and business to business. He pounds the pavement.
That was the hard part. And I did about 4 miles a day.
Straight up asks, how can you help? And he gets them to commit to something, whether it's $10 or $1,000.
And then one of the business said, well, we can't give you any cash, but you take merchandise. And I thought a second and I says, why not? And that's how we arrived at the silent auction. And I thought, well, now I need help.
He's always been the type of person to want to help and give back and have everyone else's interests at heart. So it was something that I could see in him, and it was something I wanted to be a part of and help him.
We loaded the stuff up ahead of the house and hauled it up to Chillabongs, got it set up. That's the night that we raised over $4,000.
So once it came time for his rappel, a lot of the town of Red Deer came out to see this because it's not every day you hear someone over 80 wanting to rappel down a building. And he came up in his leprechaun costume, raring to go. We got him up to the roof. He was my oldest participant to ever go over the edge of a building. We wanted to make sure he was very comfortable in what he was about to do. As soon as you saw that green suit step over the edge of the building, and it was announced that Papa Joe's ready to go, there was chanting.
And go, Papa, love you and all that, love you, Papa, and cheered me down.
And they hooked him up to the ropes. He stepped to the edge of the building.
Once I'm over the edge, I'm all right. That's the hardest part.
He had the time of his life. It was incredible to see the city rally around this one person to do this incredible feat and ultimately make a difference in a lot of people's lives. He was able to see a wish through, so he got to meet Anakin. He was there for Anakin's wish reveal, where his wish to go to Disney World was becoming true.
Honestly, it felt like a dream. At first, I didn't think it was real.
They bonded pretty quickly.
He's so fantastic and great attitude.
For me, it was just an honor to meet him, to find somebody who rappelled down a building to raise money for somebody he didn't even know.
It really hit me. Of course you hear about it happening, right? But then when you see them together, you're just fills your heart.
It's crazy how real it is when you get to see how that affected his family and himself.
When Anakin walked in and he walked over to me and I just had tears in my eyes.
As he went through that experience, he got to know that there's so many more kids in his community that needed a wish. So he started with, well, I'm gonna make another wish happen.
First raced the most in Alberta, northern Red Deer in northern Alberta, but it was second in Canada. And that sort of ticked me off. And I said, well, next year I want to be number one.
And then once he hit that 10,000, he went, well, I can probably make another one happen.
Once I hit the 20,000, and then Jen phoned me, says, you got your goal. I says, not yet. I says, I raised it. I says, I'm going for 30.
It was always thousands, 10,000s is how he increased his goal.
So I hit the 33,000 and I'm number one in Canada. 3 more kids.
I had arranged for Anakin and his mom to surprise Joe. I said, I have one more thing for you, Joe. And in walked Anakin with his plaque. Anakin said to Joe, you're my hero, because he made this wish come true. And then Anakin turned to me and said, I want to rappel.
After I found out what he did for somebody he didn't even know, I'm like, you know what? I think I want to do the same for him.
If he really wants to descend the building, I can make that happen if he raises the money. So Anakin raised over $3,000 himself to descend the building. And I didn't tell Joe until the day of that I had scheduled them to rappel together.
And he was excellent. He had a sense of humor and he was just laughing and just happy.
It was amazing.
He was the happiest kid around that day, I think.
His total impact over 2 years is $46,000, which is enough to follow 4 wishes.
Joe is my hero, and I'm so lucky to have him. I honestly don't feel like I could have done any of this without him.
He'll stop at nothing, and that's really what's inspiring to us.
When you see those kids, how excited they are, and it makes you feel like it's every bit of energy that you put in was worth it.